Bit of a different video today. I'm not playing anything today. I'm having a bit of a day off. We're going out for dinner. It's a Friday, that sort of thing. So I thought I'd do a quick businessy style video because whenever I talk about business on the YouTuber channel, people tend to like it. And I said I would when I was playing through the Spider-Man games. So here's how much money I played. Here's how much money I earned playing through the Spider-Man games versus how much they cost me when I bought them. Because when I bought all of the Activision Spider-Man games, a lot of people were like, what a waste of money, that's so much money, you'll never even play them, because they're all quite expensive. So first I'll show you what they cost, or what they cost now, I suppose, because the prices have probably gone up a bit from when I bought them, and then I'll show you how much money I earned playing through them, how many views that was, and things like that. So let's go. Okay, so we're taking a look at current CEX prices. Granted, a few of these I already owned, so I won't include those in the total of how much it cost. And again, I probably bought them when they were a little bit cheaper, so you could probably knock off a few quid of each one of these games, but I don't know what I spent on them, and I would have to scroll back through hundreds of TikToks to try to find the video where I showed how much I paid for them. So we'll just go by what we've got here, right? And I'll get a calculator up so we can keep track, or at least I will on my phone. And yeah, so we got Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions at £58. I already owned Ultimate Spider-Man, so I didn't need to buy that one. Spider-Man Web of Shadows is £98. And then I already owned Spider-Man the movie. Spider-Man 3 was £15. That was an awful game. I already owned Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man was £15. Amazing Spider-Man 2 I played on PlayStation 4, not 360, so that doesn't count. Xbox 360 version of Friend or Foe is £38. Now we've got consoles. Why have we got consoles? Go away, consoles. Nobody cares. Spider-Man Edge of Time was £42. Where's Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PS4? Why is that not being listed? Have I clicked consoles and not games in the... Yeah, thought so. Hang on. We're not quite done yet. I want PlayStation 4 games. Right, so PlayStation 4 games, Amazing Spider-Man 2 for £30. So, I don't know if anybody kept track of that, but that was £296 for the current prices of all the Spider-Man games that I had to buy. And that's not including Spider-Man 2018, Spider-Man 2 and Ultimate Spider-Man, and Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. If you included those as well, you might get closer to £400. So I probably spent nearly £300 on buying those games, which, feasible, feasible. Okay, so right now we're taking a look at the analytics of where the Spider-Man videos went. So initially, I record my videos for YouTube, and then each of the individual gaming clips is uploaded one by one to TikTok. 10 per day. That's how I do it. The first Spider-Man video went up on about July 1st, and the final video went up on July 19th. In that time, I got 13 million views, 362,000 profile views, 458,000 likes, 10,000 comments, and 3,280 shares. These are all pretty high. This was bringing this account back to life as well, because I had neglected the account for literally most of this year prior to it, because I'd been prioritizing my Kale Vlogs account, because I have 5 accounts on TikTok. TikTok is the primary money earner at the moment, because obviously YouTube isn't that big to sustain itself. Now, sadly, I can't view the money side of things on this app, so let me go and get you some screenshots. Okay, so this is a screenshot of the Creator Rewards program. This is how TikTok pays, right? I'll explain what each of the bits and pieces in here mean. So first of all, this is again filtered from the 1st of July to the 19th of July. So I was uploading these videos for about 18 days because I upload 10 per day. You can also see me in the reflection of the TV. Hello, hello. Also, I realized that I could be putting up screenshots through editing, but like my style of content is like low editing, just sort of real, sort of sit here. It's as if you guys are sat next to me on the sofa. That's sort of the image that I want to like give to you guys. And if you look here, my last payout being only £160, like I said, I had basically not uploaded to this account in forever. But in those 2 weeks, here you go, you can see that I earned £2,040 for the playthroughs of Spider-Man, which means a profit of about £1,700. So here you'll see where it says qualified views, 5.6 million. What qualified views are, the way TikTok pays. Let me switch the camera around so I can talk to you. So the way that TikTok pays you is, for a view to pay you, they have to be there at 5 seconds. See, the thing with TikTok is attention spans are in the bin. You've got a couple of seconds when somebody sees your video before they scroll. And the majority of people will scroll no matter what you do. An averagely decent retention rate at 5 seconds into a video is about 40%. Generally, across all the different content types I've ever seen, all the different people that I've helped grow their accounts, it's always been about 40%, which means that you can presume that 40% of however many views you get are actually going to pay you, which is obviously not amazing. So of that, was it 13 million views, something like that, total views that I got in that period? Only 5.6 of those paid me, 5.6 million of them. Next up, there was another figure on there. Let me show you that. You'll see here, it says RPM of 36 pence. That was my average pay per 1,000 views in that time frame. So it's kind of sad a little bit, because when this creator rewards program first became a thing about a year ago now, actually, I used to get about £1 per 1,000 views, which means I would have earned nearly 3 times the amount of money for the same views. It means that I would have earned like £6,000 for playing these games. It would have been pretty nuts. But they have nerfed it quite considerably since then and continue to do so. In fact, there have been loads of... In fact, this month has been a bit of an anomaly. I'll explain that in a moment, but let me just go through some more screenshots with you. Funnily enough, I just found this one of me in the gym while I was waiting for some of these to appear. Just thought I'd show you. Don't know. Gym stuff too. I have an account with 400,000 followers that's, I don't know, old news now. Okay, so here's the screenshot of an analytics for an individual video. This was Spider-Man Friend or Foe Part 1. So again, 1 minute and 2 seconds, the length of the video, because for a video to be qualified to pay you at all, it has to be at least 60 seconds. Anything below 60 seconds, you are not getting paid, full stop. Now, you can see here the metrics, right? So the video got 1 million views in total, of which 517,000 qualified, which is pretty good. That's above 50%. You know, but over 490,000 of those were ineligible. So with 517,000 qualified views at an RPM of 39 pence per 1,000 views, I got £204 for that one clip. Just 1 minute of me saying, you know, at the start of every game, you guys that have been following me for a long time, you know, when I do at the start of every game, I'm like, right, let's begin Spider-Man Friend or Foe, and then I talk a bit about the game. That'll be like part 1 of every playthrough. Part 1 of Friend or Foe earned me £200. That alone nearly paid for the entire franchise. Here's another example. Here I was talking about the menace system in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where basically TikTok rewards negativity. If you talk about things you don't like or things that are bad, or if you lose your temper and get angry, those videos will always do better than other types of videos. They just will. Anyway, this video got 769,000 views in total, with 501,000 qualified at an RPM of 29p. So I earned less money per 1,000 views on this one because I just did. But that video earned £147, which, again, interesting. I thought I'd show this one as well, because this is something especially kids on TikTok really struggle to get their head around, is even when I lose my temper at a game, when I'm playing a game and I'm at an annoying moment, a lot of people, if they lose their temper or say something silly, they would delete that footage because they think it's cringy or embarrassing, or at least that's what my comments tell me. But don't do that, because on TikTok, this is the sort of thing that can happen. So I uploaded a 1 minute and 59 second clip of me losing my temper at Spider-Man 3, which I lost my temper a lot in that game. And that video did, in total, 474,000 views. And with an RPM of 40 pence per 1,000 views, with 277 qualified 1,000 views, it earned me £113. Would you lose your temper at a game for just shy of 2 minutes to earn 113 quid? You probably would, you know? Now then, let's talk about the reason why, despite all this, TikTok is still not a brilliantly sustainable living. The reason why I'm doing YouTube videos in the first place, because YouTube is sustainable. I can predict how much money I'm going to earn on YouTube. All of these videos that go to TikTok are made for YouTube first, and I just clip them out for TikTok. The TikTok is the side hustle that pays more than the main hustle, basically. And that's just because I haven't grown enough on YouTube yet for it to be a thing. But the reason for that is because up until seemingly this month, the way that TikTok worked was after you uploaded 60 videos in any calendar month, the RPM, again, how much you get paid per 1,000 views, would rapidly drop. I have seen it before where my RPM, when it used to be £1, would go from £1 to a penny. And at that point, once you're earning a penny per 1,000 views, there's no point even uploading the videos there, you know? And it meant that it really killed my love for playing games and uploading them when that happened, because it meant that I would have to think about what games I'm playing at what parts of the month. If I was playing something that I knew was going to get big views, I would have to upload it at the start of the month and be careful how many videos I uploaded. Because in TikTok's eyes, it didn't matter whether your video got 1,000 views or 1 million views, it still counted towards your 60 valid uploads at your full RPM. I created a spreadsheet where across my 5 accounts I tracked this, and a lot of people who don't understand content creation or perhaps have only created content for YouTube will be like, 60 videos in a month. That's so many videos, that's more than enough. Why would you ever need to upload that many? But this is TikTok. TikTok is generally low effort. It's unpredictable. There's no amount of followers that tells you how many views you're going to get, right? With YouTube, for example, every day is predictable. If I look at my analytics, it's steady. I will get about the same amount of views every day. I will get about the same amount of subscribers every day, the same amount of impressions and the same amount of money. There'll be a little bit of fluctuation, but the breadth of that fluctuation, the peaks and the troughs compared to TikTok is astounding. There are people on TikTok with 1 million followers that will struggle to break 10,000 views. And there are people on TikTok with 10,000 followers that will blast past 1 million views every single time. But for how long? This is the thing. Is again, across my 5 TikTok accounts, I've got in total like 800,000 followers. Between fitness and gaming and vlogging and game collecting and things like that, I've grown so many different niches now. I've seen it so many different times. I understand how TikTok works thoroughly. And usually I can't do the gaming videos like this the way that I want to do them because of the fact that if I used to upload 20 to 30 videos a day. A day. Because here's the thing, right, is all of the videos that TikTok sees are in past tense. Because I only upload 10 per day, that's only 10 clips per day. That is 10 1-minute clips a day. Do you see how that's really easy to do? If I was only allowed to upload 60 clips a day, that would be 1 hour of footage of me playing games per month. Per month. You guys who follow me on here have seen how many games I play and how many hours a day I put into it. Yesterday, I played through Simpsons Hit and Run, yeah? And I recorded more clips than I meant to. I recorded 36 clips. So that video had 36 minutes worth of content. That is 3.5 days of TikTok videos, just recorded in one day. And now because I'm constantly, well, besides today, constantly recording and creating more, I get ahead of myself, which is why I've started uploading to some of my other accounts on TikTok. And that'll then create its own income sources and things like that. But it's a case of this month, weirdly, when I got to that 60 upload limit 6 days in on the 6th of July and expected to see the RPM start dropping, it didn't. And I was like, what's going on? That's really weird. So I just kept at it. I kept my 10 videos a day up and it didn't drop. Now, looking at it over the course of like this whole month, it has dropped. At this point, on the 26th of July as I'm recording this, I've uploaded 260 videos this month because, again, 10 per day. And my RPM has dropped this month as the month has gone on, but that is also to be expected. There are several reasons that your RPM drops, and on TikTok, one of the reasons is the month is coming to a close. Everybody on TikTok observes that as you go through the month, the amount you get paid per 1,000 views just drops naturally. But unnaturally was that 60 video limit that I used to observe. But this month, really weirdly, that hasn't happened. So maybe it's been lifted. I don't know. TikTok, there's no human at TikTok, right? There are genuinely people on TikTok with tens of millions of followers that are still unable to find a human being to solve their problems when they've got problems. Whereas on YouTube, if you've got 1 million followers, if you've got 10, God forbid, 10 million followers, you will have a human that you can go and get in contact with and fix your problems and give you answers to the problems that you have. Whereas TikTok, there's no amount of followers that gets you that. On TikTok, you guys could make an account today with 0 followers, right? And you have got as much power in terms of like pull behind the scenes on TikTok as somebody with nearly 1 million followers like me, or like other people with tens of millions of followers. There's no person you can get in contact with that tells you the answers to these things. So me being very number driven, you guys have seen my gamelog. You guys have seen how I do everything very number analytically driven. I created my spreadsheet where I tracked my uploads through the month, at what point the RPM started dropping, and that was how I saw that on any given account, once I hit in any given calendar month 60 uploads, that RPM, the amount you got paid per 1,000 views, began to drop. And by the time I hit 100 videos on a given account in a given calendar month, my RPM was at like a penny. In every successive video past 60, I saw for 5 months straight on 5 separate accounts, that RPM would drop. But this month it hasn't, which gives me a lot of hope, because hopefully it means that I don't have to worry about that happening anymore, and I can just upload to my heart's content and just grind, because that's something I love to do. Realistically, right, the way YouTube works is YouTube, the more views you get, the more everybody gets paid. This is the thing that doesn't make sense, is that TikTok throttling how much they pay the content creator is silly, because they're still getting paid. That's how these platforms work. The more views the creator gets, the more money the platform makes. So YouTube is encouraging you to get as many views as you can. YouTube, the longer I can keep you guys on a video, the longer I can get you clicking through more of my videos and keep you on that platform and get you watching more adverts, the happier YouTube is, the more YouTube gets paid, the more I get paid, because that's the way YouTube works. That's the way every platform works. But the way TikTok has always worked is they want to keep as much of the money as possible without giving it to the creator. Up until a year ago, TikTok didn't pay the creators for views much, if anything at all. There used to be something called the Creator Fund, where it would pay you about 5p per 1,000 views. It meant that 1 million views made you about £20, which for no one is livable. You know, no one. It would have... You could get extreme view. You would have to be like the tippity top of these girls that will dance not wearing a lot, you know, to have gotten the views capable of paying bills at that point. The majority of income there would have been through sponsorships and things like that. But sponsorships through TikTok are also much harder to come by, trust me. Despite all of the views and followers and things like that I've had on my gaming accounts, I've only ever had one sponsor for gaming stuff over there. I've got my fitness sponsor that's ever ongoing, but on gaming side of things, just once ever. Shout out to Lords of the Fallen for that. But yeah, let me just collect my thoughts for a sec. So while a lot of people will see, oh, you played Spider-Man for a week, because that's how long I played. It took me 8 days to play through all of the Spider-Man games, I'm pretty sure. And for 8 days worth of playing video games, I made £2,000. That sounds like the life, doesn't it? That sounds like, I want to do that. I want to do that all the time. And a lot of people will take that to mean that I will earn £2,000 every week for playing games. And that also isn't how that works. Because again, TikTok is so volatile. You can never predict your views. I will have 2 videos in a row, right? One video can do 1 million views, like the Spider-Man Friend or Foe video did. And part 2 of Spider-Man Friend or Foe could do 3,000. Do you see what I mean? There's no predicting views like there is on YouTube. You can't ever predict stuff for TikTok. So it's just a case of throw as much at the wall as possible of sufficient enough quality that your fans and viewers are going to like it, and hope that something performs well enough that you get paid well enough for it to pay the bills that month. So no matter how much money I ever earn or anyone ever earns on TikTok, I don't think it's ever something sustainable or something that can give you inner peace. That is something that I think people with like salaries have that like self-employed people don't necessarily have, is that inner peace, knowing that no matter what they've done, as long as the work is done, they're getting their pay. With this, it's a case of, I just have to hope that these videos do the views they need to do to pay the bills. I just have to hope that TikTok doesn't throttle the RPM behind the scenes for any reason that they could possibly think of, like the 60 video limit that I've observed 1 million times over. So while it might sound ideal, oh, £2,000 per week for playing video games, that's not really how it works. Like right now I'm playing the Ratchet and Clank games, and my RPM, again, because I'm uploading them in the later half of the month, is lower. My RPM at the moment is like 25p, whereas towards the start of the month it was like 36 to 40p, which over the span of hundreds of thousands of views is a lot of money there that you're potentially not earning because the RPM is just lower because TikTok said so. Which means then you have to start considering the time of the month that you're playing specific games, or what games are going to get views or more likely to get views, because again, you can't really predict it. Like even me, I've uploaded tens of thousands of videos over the last 4 years, and you still can never predict what you're going to get. It just doesn't work like that. I will always try and share the highs and the lows. This is why I want to grow YouTube so much. I want YouTube to be the primary income. Like it's a long road to get there, because YouTube is much harder to get those views. Like my average views are between like 1,000 to 3,000 depending on the game I'm playing. So I think on YouTube I'm averaging like 300 quid a month at the minute in terms of what I'm earning, about 10 quid a day ish. So obviously YouTube isn't sustainable income yet, but YouTube, it's more reliable income. I don't have to be so anxious to check what I've earned every day on YouTube, because I can kind of just know in advance, whereas on TikTok you can't. It's why I really want to grow it. See, on TikTok, when I talk about money, people think I'm bragging, but I'm not. I've always shared the highs and the lows. When I share the lows on TikTok, you get people going, oh, that's what you deserve, haha, and things like that, because TikTok are kids for the most part. Like, I've always shown those periods of time where it was 1 penny per 1,000 views. For example, last year there was this weird glitch where for a month, everyone's RPM was like a penny for no reason. I was on holiday in Ibiza with my girlfriend. We go on one holiday a year, and the videos that I post while I'm on holiday always do really well. They just do. and I was getting hundreds of thousands of views while I was away, and it was making like a couple of £100 a day because my RPM used to be £1 per thousand views instead. But then halfway through the holiday, it went down to a penny per thousand views. So obviously that just bottomed it out, and I wasn't then earning no money. And just because TikTok turned it off, they just said so. Whereas YouTube isn't. A lot of people will say that YouTube is still not sustainable or not set in stone. And yeah, it's not set in stone. But YouTube has been around. YouTube has been Korea now for people for nearly 20 years. I think YouTube is 2005, maybe 2006 at a push. And within a couple of years of YouTube existing, people were earning a living. And it's a case of social media and earning money through social media is going nowhere. Never. Like, yeah, it might not always be TikTok. It might not even always be YouTube, but there'll always be something. But YouTube is probably not going anywhere for the foreseeable. It just isn't. So that's why I really want to grow YouTube to the point where it's a sustainable thing, because it'll bring me peace that I don't think I've had for years, to be real. Because, again, while I do earn a decent chunk of money when things are going well on TikTok, because I get good views, it's always so inconsistent that with all the factors that can go into it being inconsistent, it hurts my inner peace. Does that make sense? So yeah, short answer to the very long video of how much did I earn playing Spider-Man? About £2,000 for a week's worth of playing games, and it cost me about £300-ish to buy the games to play them in the first place. Will that happen every playthrough of every game? No, it just won't, because that's the way TikTok works. But I don't need, like, again, okay, let's go back to being really real again. Because of my fitness account, in 2022, I was up there when it comes to like most followed, most viewed in fitness on TikTok. I just was. And because of that, I know most of at the time, big, massive influencers. Like if you guys are into fitness at all and you know like JPG coaching, I know all of them, right? I know everyone. And for the most part, everybody agrees that TikTok is just, it's a problem. And now that I've been at this for like 5 years, I know people that have like leveraged their followings into huge businesses, like businesses that will earn 6 figures a month. And I don't want to earn that much. Like, I know that's a nice problem to have in it, but like, I know that there's a lot of people who just want more money. That ain't me. I want to earn enough money to be comfortable, to live the life I want to live, to go where I want to go and do what I want to do. And it doesn't cost that much money to do that. Not really. So some people I know from my days as with 500,000 fitness followers, the numbers they must pull, and the numbers I know some of them did pull or do pull, and the amount of tax they have to pay as a result of that, it's just all so stressful. I don't want to live a stressful life like that. There is an amount of money that people can earn that it becomes a hindrance to your like mental space. I don't want to be there. I was there once. I had a year where that was a problem, like it really was. And I don't ever want to be there again. I just want to earn enough money that I can just sit here and play games and just chill, which is a nice problem to have in it. But like the whole more, that's not me. I don't want more. And my mom doesn't get that, right? My mother, she was a carer, so she's never had much money. As a kid, we didn't have much money. Everything I've got was because I worked for it my damn self. I learnt to drive late because I never had help. Deposit for a house, all of that was all me. But never had money as a kid. So when I started earning good money through what I do on the internet, my mother, while not really able to understand it, was always pushing for more. I'd tell her how much I'd earn that month. And it's more money than she'd seen in some years, sometimes back then. And she wouldn't be like, oh, that's amazing, that's brilliant. She'd be like, you need to do more. And like, I don't want more. I want enough, and I want it every month. That's the thing. There's no amount of money you could get. This is the thing. This is real life logic. There's no amount of money you could give me this month unless it's like an absurd amount of money. There's no amount of realistic money that you could give me this month that would make me go, oh, I can relax. There really isn't. It would have to be multi-6 figures for that to be a thing. Because I'm always thinking future. Because again, if you're an upcoming content creator, if this is something you want to do as your job, you got to think, for how long can you make videos to earn enough? Do you have a pension? Do you have investments to make sure that when you're not doing this, you're earning? But what about if you can't record? Because if you're not recording, you're not earning. Things like that. Because, again, this is all stability that people with regular jobs have that we necessarily don't because of the decisions we've made along the way. if you don't have a pension, when do you retire? Do you just do this forever? Can you do this forever? Probably not. There are very few people that do. What happens if you're no longer on top? Here's the answer to that one, because I get that one a lot. Because again, I had some time near the top in fitness in 2022 and 2021, because again, I started in 2020, and I'm nowhere near there now. I'm just not. I'm not even in the conversation for like that. But here's the thing. You don't need to be anywhere near the top to earn enough. That's the thing. Is just like how in every business around the world there are layers to this. You know how like your boss's boss's boss is earning more money than you can fathom, that sort of thing, and you'd be happy with just your boss's money. It's that sort of thing. You don't have to be the tippity top to earn enough. A lot of the old YouTubers that I've been watching for 15 years don't get anywhere near the views they used to, but they still get enough views that it's the job they're still capable of having because they earn enough. And that's the goal, is to earn enough and to just be able to chill and just relax, you know? So yeah, I always try and keep it real when it comes to money stuff. Again, on TikTok, they don't like these conversations. They think it's bragging. They think everyone's got a problem with everything on TikTok. That's just how it is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm off to go have dinner. I'm going to Birmingham tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow when I'll begin the Simpsons game.